This video is for Unit 4 Triangle Congruence Test Review. There's a good chance it's going to be two separate videos because of time restraints on here. Alright, number 1, to show that triangle RQP is congruent to triangle PSR by SSS, what must be the value of X? First of all, remember we have 5 congruency things. We have side, 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 angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle, side, angle, and hypotenuse leg. So this is saying that all this, it's side, side, side. So that would mean that this is congruent to this side is congruent to this side, and of course, that is congruent to itself by reflexive property. So we're going to have 2x plus 3 equals 4x minus 7. And we just solve for x. So subtract 2x. I get 3 equals 2x minus 7. Add 7. I get 10 equals 2x. So 10 equals 2x. I divide by 2. 5 equals x. Now, number 2 says to show that triangle ADB is congruent to triangle CBD by angle, angle, side, what must be the value of x? What is the measure of angle A? So, we know this is congruent to itself. These two would have to be congruent. So again, I'm going to have 6x minus 1 equals 4x plus 25. I'm solving for x. Subtract 4x. 2x minus 1 equals 25. Add 1. 2x equals 26. Divide by 2. So x is going to equal 13. Then I'm going to plug that into A. So 6 times 13 minus 1. 6 times 13 is 78, minus 1 is 77. So the measure of angle A equals 77 degrees. Now, what theorem is used to show that triangle TNP is congruent to triangle TNQ? We know that we have two sides that are congruent, and then we know that these two angles, so angle PTN is congruent to angle QTM by vertical angles. So we have side, angle, side. So it is congruent by side, angle, side. Now name all 6 congruent parts. So we're going to name all the congruent. We know that the two triangles are congruent, so we're going to name the specific congruent parts. So first off, I know that NP is congruent to MQ. I know that TP is congruent to TQ. And I know that TN is congruent to TM. As far as angles, I know that angle N is congruent to angle M. I know that angle P is congruent to angle Q. And I know that angle PTN is congruent to angle QTM. And that's what it means by named 6 congruent parts. Number 4 says which postulate theorem shows that triangle QMP is congruent to triangle RNP. So again, I have a side and I have an angle. I know again that this is congruent by vertical angles. So then I have angle, 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 side. So it's congruent by angle, angle, side, or AAS. Now, I understand that this question was a little bit tricky to understand. It's saying for each method below what additional congruence would be needed to show that the two triangles are congruent. So it's saying what additional things are needed to show that these two triangles are congruent by side, side, side. I already know that AC is congruent to FD, so I need to know that AB is congruent to FE. And I also need to know that BC is congruent to ED. Now for angle, side, angle, I already have an angle and I have a side, so I need this angle. Remember, it's a sandwich, angle, side, angle. So if that's the case, I have angle, side, angle. So I need to know that angle A is congruent to angle F. I'm going to erase maybe that. And then for side, angle, side. Well, we have an angle and a side, so it has to be a sandwich, side, angle, side. So BC, and then we have side, angle, side. So we'd have to know that BC is congruent to ED. And then finally we have angle, angle, side. I don't know why this is not working for me all of a sudden. All right. So we have an angle and we have a side, but we need another angle. So it's going to be angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side. So we need to know that angle B is congruent to angle E. Number 6 says what additional piece of information is needed to show that triangle DEF is congruent to triangle PQR by angle, side, angle. So we know that E and Q are congruent. We know ED and QP are congruent. We need another angle, and it has to be on the other side of this side, so it's going to be right here. So we need to know that angle D is congruent to angle P. What additional piece of information is needed to show that triangle GHJ is congruent to triangle MNP by side, angle, side? So again, we have an angle and we have a side, but we need a side on the other side of the angle so it's sandwiched. So we need right here. So that would be GH is congruent to MN. Now this one's a little bit different. You're going to have a question that says identify each type of triangle. And then you're going to have another question that gives you side lengths and angle measures that you have to identify the triangle. So we're going to kind of go over that. So this first one is isosceles, because you have two sides that are congruent. Now, you might have something that says the side length is 5 meters, 2 meters, and 5 meters. So two of the sides are the same. Or you could have angle measure, and maybe you have, let's see here, maybe you have 70 degrees, 55 degrees, and 55 degrees. That is saying that there's two angles that are the same, so it's going to be isosceles. Now this, I'm going to switch mine. This is equilateral, because all the sides are the same. So you could have, it might say side length is 9 meters, 9 meters, and 9 meters. So it's all the same. Now, if it were to say, nope, that's not what I wanted. We want to do angle measure. So if it said angle measure, and it has 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees, that's going to be known as equiangular. Okay? Now this is an obtuse triangle, and it might say something like angle measures. You have to have one higher than 90 degrees for it to be an obtuse. This one right here is scalene. And so you might have side lengths 12 feet, 14 feet, 16 feet. Now another one that I did not put on here but could be a possibility is a right angle. And right angle, or right triangle, and it could say angle measures 90 degrees, um, 45 and 45, or it could be 90 degrees, 30, 60. Okay, it could be anything like that. All right, so I'm going to stop the video and do another one for the next two.